IGT, baby.
What's cracking, y'all? It's your boy Junior Mafia coming back to you with another video. So we gotta talk about what happened in Clash in Italy. And in my opinion, this PLE was a solid one. I definitely enjoyed it. I think the matches was pretty good too. The crowd itself was very energetic. So huge shout out to that Italy crowd. Y'all delivered as always, man. So it's something about when WWE goes international, man, their crowd just step up and show out, man. So I definitely want to acknowledge y'all and appreciate y'all for making this PLE very, very good. So we're going to talk about the matches that happened on the show, of course, and definitely want to see what unfolds after that. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So we had the WWE Undisputed Championship match to kick off the show of Gunther taking on Cody Rhodes. And in this match right here, Gunther was in full control early into it, and this man was just slowly and methodically beating down Cody Rhodes. And it was to the point where it was like Cody tried to generate offense, but it was little to nothing at that point. Then when he did try to find momentum and, even tried to hit a Cody cutter on the Gunther was able to capitalize, lock in the sleeper hole, most of the time in this matchup. And that's what he was trying to utilize outside of hitting Cody with multiple slaps to the chest. You saw him try to lock in that sleeper hole constantly. And it was moments where he was successful with it. And we thought Cody was going to pass out. We see him like literally trying to fight, try to get out of the hole, and when he did be able to get out of it, Gunther locks the sleeper hole right back into it again, and it's at the moment where can he potentially tap out? But lucky enough, Cody was able to get out of that and was able to gain momentum. So I would say towards the climax of the match, as Gunther tries multiple attempts of locking the sleeper hole, even hits him with a power bomb and stuff, Cody gained momentum, executed the Cody cutter, and then also hits a crossroads onto him. Now here's the part that actually shocked me when I saw it. After he hit the crossroads, he went in for the cover, but as the referees is doing the pin count, you see Gunther's leg is literally underneath the ropes. So after the 1, the 2, and it was like a slow 3, and the match was over, we're thinking like, all right, something fell off, until we look at the replay and you see Gunther's leg is underneath, the ropes. So he thinking, all right, the ref probably catch it and stop the count, but that didn't happen, and Cody ended up retaining. Now you saw Gunther going this big tirade or the ref, letting him know, listen, my feet was underneath the ropes right now, so that whole pin count should have been null and void, and this match should have had continued. So we seen that happen, and it's like, okay, now it's just setting up for them to probably have a rematch again. And I truly believe this time around, if they do that, there's a big chance that Gunther could potentially come away with the championship this time. But that ended up happening. Cody ended up successfully pinning Gunther and retains his title right now. So I definitely want to see how things unfold, especially on SmackDown after everything went down, because I'm pretty sure we're going to get some answers to everything that just transpired, in that match. So it was a very solid match to open the show. I definitely enjoyed it, and the crowd made it even more better too, the way they've been hyping it up. So the next match we have Jade Cargill taking on Rhea Ripley, and I'm gonna say that crowd was energetic too for Rhea Ripley. They was singing her song, from start to finish. Rhea was engaged with it too. Now I feel like anybody, when it comes down to entrance, music is not on the level how how Rhea Ripley is when she comes out to her music. Like, she definitely be fired up. So, match started and all, and what I will say is Jade put on a good performance in this match. She looked dominant for the first 5 minutes. In my opinion, she has showcased her strength, between locking holes with Rhea Ripley and asserting her dominance as far as taking control of everything and just slowly, methodically beating down Rhea Ripley. Like, this was what I wanted to see, from her and all, and I'm glad that she executed properly with it. And about this match too, I did enjoy from both women is that we had multiple reverses, from them where a degree was trying to hit a riptide. That got countered. Jade was looking for the jaded. That got countered. When she knows she do her little infamous big boot. It got countered. Rhea with the headbutt. So it was just picture perfect, and it didn't feel like slow pacing. It was very quick timing. And then it went into the next move now, and each woman that did have the opportunity to have offense, it didn't feel like it overstayed its welcome. That's what I loved about this match. And this one, I could say, was way better than their match at WrestleMania. Bar none. Way better. So, I enjoyed the feel it was. The crowd was very hyped for this, too. So, it was good. And I enjoyed it. But you knew shenanigans was going to happen when we saw Meech and the B-Fat made their way towards the ring. And as that's happening, they were going to help Jade to try to get her to become the new women's champion. So once she hit a move, I think once Rhea hit the riptide, she went for the cover, and as the ref got to the 2 count, you see B-Fat was trying, she was supposed to grab Jade's leg and put it onto the rope, but I guess the time was over, so she kind of botched that. So Jade had to put her leg on the rope on her own, but the ref saw it, and as a result, ejected both of them out from ringside. But right before they about to leave out of there, you see Charlotte come out of nowhere and hits both of them with a crossbody, knocking them out the equation. Of course, throwing them into the steel ring post and all that stuff. So as that happened, you see Jade takes advantage of it once Rhea got distracted from him a bit, and she ends up hitting the Jaded. And as she's going in for the cover, you see Charlotte takes Rhea leg, put it onto the lower ropes. So as for that, Jade was going to get upset with that. She turned her attention to Charlotte, and her taking her off the ball is what costed this match, because you see Rhea hit her with a headbutt and then turn it into a riptide and cover her for the 1, for the 2, for the 3, and Rhea Ripley retains her women's championship. So I enjoyed the match for what it was. Very fantastic. Loved the both back and forth between the two, and of course counter after counter after counters. Like it was dope. This was a way better match, like I said, than it was at WrestleMania. And now that this is done, you can kind of turn the page now and have Jade Cargill turn her attention onto Charlotte Flair, which will be the right time, because I do not envision a circumstance that Alexa Bliss will be back on, especially after what happened on on SmackDown, and you see Jade pretty much taking her out. So I do not expect Alexa to be on SmackDown as of now. So now you can build a feud up between Charlotte and Jade Cargill, something we've been waiting for quite some time now, and I think we're finally going to get that. So I definitely enjoyed that match. So Clash of Italy is at a high now. This is getting interesting. And then here come the match we were all been waiting for. Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar, round 2. And how this whole thing turned out was fucking crazy. But before I get into that, let's get into when the entrance starts. Brock Lesnar comes out there. That elite crowd sang his song from start to finish. I do not remember anybody sing a Brock Lesnar song like that. Like, that was really an eye-opener for me. And he comes out there. He's embracing it too. Very energetic. Crowd is hyped and ready for this match. Then here comes Oba. Oba music comes. You hear the Oba chants, and they're doing a strut. Oba. All of that. And he's fired up. And remember, Oba said to Paul Heyman, I'm not only looking to beat Brock Lesnar, I'm here to kill him. So you know the mentality he was on. So right when he got into the ring now, and Alicia Taylor was introducing everybody, but Paul Heyman introduced Brock Lesnar, speaking in A language right now for Brock. And then of course she introduced Obafemi. So while he about to get ready and shit like that, you see Brock already on full attack mode. That just attacked him, lifts him up for the one for F5 being the first one, picks him up again, F5 for a second time, picks him up again, F5 for a third time, picks him up again, F5 for a fourth time, and then covers him for the 1, the 2, and then over kicks out. So at that moment right there, Brock is pissed, and he like, you know what? I'm gonna put him away. I'm gonna put him away this time around. So he picks him up, hits him with another F5, being number 5, covers him for the 1, the 2, over kicks out again. So he letting me know it's gonna take more than that to put me down. Then he proceeds to lock in the Kimura lock onto Oba. Now at this point, we think Oba might potentially tap now, because anybody who had that Kimura lock locked in, it always ended bad. We saw what happened when Triple H got that hold locked on him. His arm got snapped. We saw what happened when Shawn Michaels had that hold locked on him. His arm got snapped. I think Goldberg, when he had that arm locked on him at the time, I think his got snapped. So a lot of people have fell to the hands of the Kimura lock, but Oba was able to get out of it multiple times and, started to really gain momentum, so to speak. So all of this kind of escalated outside of the ring. And now Oba's pissed. He's like, all right, it's time to really set the tone right now and look to pack this man up now. Even him and his man with a choke slam and stuff like that. So as that's happening, get out to the ring. He's clearing everything up, and he's looking to try to pack Brock up. Brock ended up reversing out of it too, lifts up Oba and hits him with F5 number 6 onto the announce table. And once he does that, announce table explodes. I'm like, holy shit. Gets into the ring. And we think, all right, he could potentially win by a count out. This man Oba proceeds to jump up as if it didn't phase him. And now this nigga Oba looking like, it's going to be Brock looking like a deer in headlights. Seeing all this happen right there. And Oba gets into the ring now. And at this point, he starts to gain momentum, and he does the run of the turnbuckles, and does the running elbow shots. So he's doing that multiple times to Brock. And once it was done, he set him up for the fall from grace after hitting the choke slam on him. But Brock able to get out of that and ends up picking Oba up again, hitting him for the 7th F5, and covers him for the 1, for the 2, for the 3, and he walks away your winner. Now, I knew this was bound to happen the minute he came back and went on full attack mode onto Obafemi. I think it was a week ago, and just seeing, 2 weeks ago, and just seeing that is just, it kind of pisses me off, and it kind of reverts back to WrestleMania because of how everything went down. And I feel like they could have really pivoted in another direction instead of having Brock somehow semi-retired, so to speak. But I think he did retire, but he wanted to get back over some shit like that. But I felt like leaving the gloves and his boots in the middle of the ring, that should never have been done. I think that shouldn't have happened. I think he should have embraced the crowd, said thank you, and just would have left out and leave us all in question marks about if did he retire. I think that would have made more sense, and if he was to came out and attack Obafemi on Monday Night Raw, it would have made a lot of sense on that part right there. So that's the only pushback I have right now, and we know that they're going to have their third match most likely at SummerSlam. So it's bound to happen, and you hear Brock shit talking to him like 1+1, like he says, I got my one now, bitch, and walked off. But Oba still wanted to smoke despite all that shit. So if I'm Obafemi on Monday Night Raw, I should be at a tirade and just wreck everything to send a message to Adam Pearce that, listen, I want my rematch against against Brock Lesnar, and do whatever it takes to get his response. So we shall see what happens and what is going to be now going forward, between the two. But I'm pretty sure all roads lead to them facing each other one more time at SummerSlam. So, as much as I don't see it, here it is. So we'll see how that whole thing, transpires and stuff like that. So next, I want to talk about the Women's Intercontinental Championship match. Becky Lynch taking on Sol Ruka. And I chose Sol Ruka to win this match because, once again, I says, Becky Lynch, with her run with this title, it ran its course. I feel like it just haven't really been good at all, and they just been delaying the inevitable. And I also said, once Sol Ruka got to the main roster, the first person that should dethrone, the person that should dethrone Becky Lynch should be her. I know some people in my chat was even saying that she's probably not ready yet and all, and Becky should retain. But so a lot of things happen on WWE, so you got to expect the unexpected. But in this match, you knew Becky was going to use Jessica Carr as a shield to potentially get Sol Ruka disqualified. Just say so what happened at Saturday Night Main Event. History reason why we got this match. So, that became a whole thing, in this whole matchup and all. And when Sol did get some momentum and starting to like really put together a consistent offense, it was moments where she was hitting some acrobatic moves where it was botched. And if I'm her, I need to switch things up right now, because although it looked good and we all love some acrobatic moves, especially me, you have to dial it back. If you want to cut down these botches, there's a lot of things you're going to have to switch around and make it more, a lot more better when you perform. So I hope she does do that and it just don't become an ongoing thing. Because now every time when she goes in the ring and she does these moves, people are going to know, okay, it's a botch coming real soon. Like, that's what they're going to say. So, both women did get some offense, and you see, Becky try to hit her version of a soul snatcher, but that wasn't going to happen. Then you saw Sol Ruka hit her version of a manhandle slam. I did love the counter where Sol Ruka was about to do a soul snatcher off the middle rope, but Becky counters it into an armbar. That was pretty dope. I did enjoy that, and it was very interesting and all. But towards the climax of the match, you see Sol Ruka did get some momentum too, and was able to fully connect the Snow Snatcher on the back end, cover her for the 1, for the 2, for the 3, and she's your new Women's Intercontinental Champion. And I think it was the right call. I'm like, it gives Sol Ruka momentum now, and she doesn't get lost in the shuffle. Like, I never want that to happen. I'm like, this is a fresh superstar here. You know what she's capable of in NXT. You give her the mid-card title and let her work with it. So she had that power going off and all that stuff. And this is not the end for Becky, because you're going to run it back again, and 9 times out of 10, Sol Ruka is going to win that too and retain her title. So we'll see how that whole thing turns out right now. But congratulations to Sol Ruka. I'm glad she won the title. Very exciting moment right there, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And then last but not least, we had the OTC Roman Reigns taking on Jacob Fatu, a tribal combat for the World Heavyweight Championship. And this was a match I was definitely looking forward to outside of Brock and Oba. And comes out there, both men make their entrance, and match begins. And as it starts, both men lock in the hole, and Roman, with his shoulder attack, was just dominating most of the time. And you knew going into this match, Jacob Fatu is going to find some way to lock in a Tonga death grip on Roman Reigns, knowing that has mostly been successful for him, every time they did encounter each other, since Backlash. So this time around, he was trying to come out the gate and do the same thing, but Roman was intercepting that immediately, before shit got out of hand. Even the match itself even took out, it happened outside as well, where they were just hitting each other, in the crowd. They even went to this concession stand where this nigga Roman proceed to take this bucket of ice and smack Jacob Fatu with it. And he without giving out snacks to people out there too. So, I thought that was good, funny to see and shit. And before I even press on with this matchup, it looks like Jacob was a heel in this whole thing, because at first we think, all right, he could probably be a tweener and all that stuff, but you saw the stuff he was doing in his entrance and all, and then wasn't really not much engagement with the crowd. Like, it was really up and down. Like, I never understood that at all, and he looked at Roman as like a baby face. So I had to pinpoint that out because that was really weird to see. So as the match goes on, and we get to back into the ring. Now this is where the carnage really begins. Now, when the tables got involved, and you see Jacob Fatu, trying his best to continue locking in the tongue and death grip on Roman Reigns, and he finding ways to get out of it and stuff like that. And Roman, when he's trying to execute the spear, but end up getting countered multiple times. So, the beginning of the match, it was slow pacing, but then it started to pick up a little more now. And I did love one of these spots where it was outside the ring, and you see Roman, he grabs the toolbox, because he's decided, all right, don't want to get the kendo stick? Nah. Don't want to get a steel chair? Nah. Spots the toolbox, and man proceed to take that and slam Jacob's hand into it, and the right hand he used for the Tonkin death grip. So as he's doing that now, he's saying like, yo, you can't do shit with that now. Just shit talking in the process. And Jacob had his hand in between the steel steps. So Roman once again used the toolbox, dumped everything out, and decided to slam it with him, like slam it onto his hand again. So he was making that non-effective in his match now, to say, all right, if you're gonna beat me, it's gonna be something else outside of that tongue and death grip. So this is how I'm gonna neutralize you. So as it happened and all that stuff, now it gets back into the ring, and now he's looking to hit Jacob with a spear, but of course Jacob ended up countering that into, I think, a pop-up Samoan Samoan drop. Goes up, gets on the ropes, hits the splash on him, the moonsault, sorry. Covers him for the 1, the 2, Roman kicks out. So we was getting that most of the match, and it was even moments where Roman was in full control, and he was shit talking Jacob and telling him like, yo, I don't need no help from my cousin or the twins. I don't need no help from them. Like, I don't need no fucking help. I can do this shit on my own. Like, I did this. I've been doing things on my own my whole career. And he said, the reason why I do all this, because the family loves me and I love them. And let it be known, like, all of this right now, like, you're going to fall in line and acknowledge me. And as he's shit talking, man proceeds to take out every single turnbuckle pad off, take the pads off, just to expose like the steel post. And as he's doing that, this is where Jacob takes advantage of it. When he's looking to hit a spear, Jacob runs in and hits a hip attack on a Roman. So as that's done, and he's looking to, I think, go for another moonsault, but Roman was able to get out the way and proceeds to spear, I believe, Jacob into the table. So once that was done, I think he went for the pin, and I think Jacob kicked out of it. So his next move was to pick Jacob up and proceed to take his head and bash him multiple times onto the exposed steel post. Multiple times he continued to bash his head. And once this was done, runs the ropes and connects the spear again. Covers Jacob for the 1, for the 2, for the 3, and he ends up retaining his World Heavyweight Championship and is now 2-0 in tribal combat. You know, one being against Jay at SummerSlam, and this one happening, you know, against Jacob Fatu. Now, somebody said that he is actually 3-0 because it was tribal combat with him and Solo, but if I'm not mistaken, I think it was a regular match on Monday Night Raw when they went to Netflix for the first time. I think it was just a regular match. I don't think it was tribal combat. Y'all can fact check me if that's the case. But he ended up retaining there, and you just see this look of disgust on Jacob's face. And the Uso comes in with the Ula Fala, puts it over Roman, and Roman looks at him, and he just shit talking as always, and will let it be known, yeah, you gonna fall in line now. Like, all that shit you doing right now comes to a complete stop. So as he's leaving out, you see Solo, Tama Tonga, and Tom Latonga sitting behind a barricade. And as you're seeing that, you know, he's looking and he's like, I'm gonna deal with Solo. Like, in due time, I got some phone. I'm gonna deal with him. And was telling Jacob that this motherfucker is gonna fall in line now. He's gonna acknowledge me, and pretty much he gonna do what I say. So now I don't feel like he's just untouchable now. Like, we're starting to get that old Roman Reigns from 4 years ago now. So as he going up the ramp, he's talking his shit as always. Like, you know, people continue to doubt me and all that. I keep proving to him, like, yo, I'll run this, you know, like all that things. And you see Jay over there is just sitting there and telling Jacob, because he's like, he stopped at the beginning of the ramp and looked at Solo. And I guess Solo just let him know, like, if you want to join us, you're always open to do so. But Jay like, yo, get your ass over here. Let's go. Like, we got to move. So now Chica has no other choice. So towards the end of the PLE, there was an exclusive video that you saw Roman talking shit, like, as far as, you know, I'm trying to do things the right way. I'm trying to lead the right way and not do the same mistakes I did years ago when I was tribal chief. But you got people over here and shit talking. He dropped names like LA Knight and even Royce Keys. It was saying like, yo, y'all want to run your mouth and all that stuff and say, you know, y'all don't like to show how I run things and all that to him. What y'all gonna do? He says, I'm here. Like, you want the smoke, bring it. I'm right here. And says, you know, I never had no army. I always had an army. And he said, I'm even more stronger than ever now. And let it be known, like, I'm not here to be fucked with. And he says, keep running your mouth. Keep thinking I can't do anything. I'm going to show y'all I will take over this whole fucking thing. Try me. So he's actually putting that message out there, man. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Because now it's like, how can you tell a story right now with Solo now in his mix? So we want to see it done right. This will actually be good for Solo Sikoa. Because remember, his frictions with Tama Tonga, that still haven't got resolved. You know, Tama Tonga is still looking to disconnect from Solo. So we shall see how this whole thing turns out. Now that he's in the mix of this now, we'll just got to see how it be executed. So I'm definitely looking forward to what happened now. I'm definitely looking forward for Monday Night Raw tomorrow, which starts at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be live for as well, so make sure y'all pull up for that. And yeah, we'll see how things turns out. But this was a solid show. Definitely enjoyed it. You know, for what it was right there. If I had to get a rating, I would give it an 8 out of 10. Like, I think it was very enjoyable outside of the whole ads again, you know, which is still fucking annoying. But, you know, like I said, I get the show an 8 out of 10. I definitely enjoyed it for what it was. The matches was pretty good too. And yeah, there's that. But comment down below. Let me know, how do you feel about Clash in Italy? What was your enjoy about the show? What match did you enjoy, and what you're looking forward to, after everything transpired, within these matches. But I definitely want to hear your opinions and all that. I appreciate your love and support. Roll to 300 subscribers. Continue to keep God first. Such a process of anything that you do in life, your time will come. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Peace.